Welcome to the Level Up Podcast. Our goal is that by listening to our podcast, you will be inspired to level up. With the help of some amazing guests, we'll be inspired by some inspirational success stories and find out how you can level up your business, your life, and your relationship with yourself. Because I know that by leveling up and balancing these three aspects of your life, you can make a difference and impact the lives around you. Level Up Podcast will be a series of interviews featuring successful professionals who are making a mark and a difference in their lives and others. They will share their incredible stories of how they did it, so you can be inspired and learn from the very best.
Hello, Berta Carmona here, and today I have a special guest, very dear friend of mine, Sirilo Ortiz is with me today, and I feel honored and it's a pleasure having you. I admire you, I look up to you, and you're such an inspiration for a lot of our Hispanic community and realtors, so I really, really appreciate you taking the time to be with me today. So thank you.
Yes,
thank you for taking the time.
Welcome. It's an honor to be here, and whatever I can do to help the Hispanic community, whatever it takes to help agents, I'm here.
Absolutely. And I mean, being a realtor, I think that's one of the things that I look up to you the most, is because I've always seen you very involved and very committed to our community, and it's admirable. So thank you for being here. So we're going to kick it off, and I'd like to start off by kind of letting people know, who is Sirilo? Where is Sirilo from? Where is he working? Who is Sirilo? Tell me about Sirilo.
All right. Well, Sirilo, also known as AKA SAS now, everybody has
Love it.
named me that name. And it's just something that just came out. But Sirilo, I've been a real estate agent since 2004. So I saw the 2007, 2008 crash. So I felt that troublesome of the market. And so I've been just still working, doing whatever it takes to continue moving forward and figuring out how to just keep leveling up. That's the key. You know what I mean? So that's what I've been doing.
Beautiful. So let me ask you, were you from Inland Empire? Where are you from?
I grew up in Santa Fe Springs. I was born in I was born in Downey, and me and my wife, one time I was showing some houses over here in North Fontana, brand new houses, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, brand new in 2006, and we were going to buy a house, and I was showing them houses in Whittier, and that in 2007 the market, it was expensive. A 4-bedroom, a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, built in 1900s, old home for $500,000. And I go,
yes.
She was like, oh, okay, yes, it's, And then I told her, you know what? I showed this beautiful house out there in Inland Empire. Let's go look at it. And we ended up in Rancho, and she fell in love with the house. And
the rest is history, right? You come and see the new homes, you compare them, and there's nothing to go back to. So that's amazing. So that's how you ended up in Inland Empire.
Yes.
So you've been out here since 2006. Awesome. So you started as a real estate agent. What was it like when you started? Tell me a little bit about that.
When I started, I did work for somebody. I was under somebody's mentorship. I would call it his mentorship, a great friend of mine. And he would literally like, okay, go do this. And there I go do it. You know what I mean? Okay. Go do that. And there I go do that. I would definitely start early in the morning, not early, but like by 8 or 9, I would be in the office figuring out what I need to do. You know what I mean? Learn the contracts, do this, do that, go door knock, go do this. And so I would do it, and I would stay there to the office till by 8 o'clock until I got to go until they close the door. It's like, hey, we're closing the office. I was like, okay. So that's how I started. Yeah, I was just, there, you know what I mean? And so all I knew was open and closed just by default. You know what I mean? It's our natural custom and our Hispanic to work. Working is not a problem. So I was just now listening to him, following to him. For last about 6 months to a year, I was under his mentorship. And one of the things that I wasn't after it wasn't the money that, I was just giving him the deals. I don't know. I didn't know what was happening. I was just in the learning mode. And that pretty much, I got a check. Okay, cool. I was excited, but mostly of learning of what he could teach me and how to sell. And once I got that, it was a game changer.
So as a brand new real estate agent, what were the challenges that you faced when you first got into the business?
Not knowing what to say. Not knowing what to say when I would talk to somebody, I was like, oh, shoot. You know what I mean? I went door knocking. The guy goes, you know what? We are thinking about selling. I was like, Oh my God.
I say
And so
now.
it's like, what do I say now? Okay, perfect. Well, let me go ahead. Let me get my friend out here, Robert. He'll help us get this thing going. You know what I mean? And just, I started, assuming the sale, you know what I mean? Okay, well, let me go get my friend. He's going to go over here. And then we just got the listing and sold my first listing by door knocking. So it's really what to say is it's understand. One of the things also is that I did have a mentor that I had. All his abilities were mine. I just didn't know it at the time. As he was my mentor, I just had to bring him the lead and he would do all his work. You know what I mean? And so I got to see that. I'm a visual guy, so I learn fast when I see things happening. So that's how I was able to do my real estate, is by learning by seeing somebody do it. You know what I mean? So some people are visual, some people are auditory. So just depending on what your skill level is or how you received skills, mine was visual.
That's amazing. And having a mentor, I think overall, if we were to look back, was that the main reason you were able to stay through the crash? Because I know, how many people left the industry during the crash of 2007, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah. Well, I had already been 2004, 4 years already active. I was already active as an agent doing, 10, 15, 20, 30 sales. It wasn't a problem with me within that time frame. My first year I did 11. The second year, I think I did 22. My third year, I did around 32. And then from there, the market shifted and they were like, oh my God. And it dropped down to like 4, So I was always active on my own, but because of the mentorship that I got, I was able to keep moving forward. And obviously the people around us asking questions, how did you do this? And mastermind, and obviously scaled up.
And leveling up, right? Because at the end of the day, we all have to always constantly be willing to adjust and adapt to the changes that are coming our way, right?
Absolutely. And it's not easy. I'll tell you that right now. It's not easy, because I remember when 2008 happened, 2007, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to go look for a job. That's how bad it was. Like in the mind is like, oh my God, this is sales are not happening. And then I like under the blankets, you know what I mean? Because it was pretty bad. And
I was there. I was there too.
Yeah. I realized that, okay, so who's going to pay me $60,000 a year? That's the first question that came up to my head. Like $60,000 a year? Nobody's going to pay me $60,000 a year. How many deals do I have to do? 8 or 9. I was like, I could do 8 or 9. That's easy.
Still make it, right?
Yeah, it's easy. And so that triggered me to jump out of the bed and get to work. I went to work, and that year I did, I think, 28 buyer sites. You know what I mean? That I was focused on buyers, because that's what the market was, buyers, because everybody had a listing, and buyers were gold. And so I focused on working with buyers, and I was very tenacious with buyers.
Amazing.
I love working with buyers.
Me too. So obviously, right, I do that long. So I do love working with buyers, painting that picture that they're going to have their own place. So that's amazing. The feeling is just undescribable, just being able to help someone achieve that dream of having their own place. So, and that's one of the things that I love about seeing you. They're a very family oriented guy. I needed to comment something. I saw the post you had about bringing your wife her favorite drink at the nail spot. I'm like, how beautiful is that? Like, I know we're all busy, like we said at the beginning, but making the time, how do you do it? Because I know you have little ones. So tell us, as a professional, as a business owner, as a leader, how do you make that balance? How do you find the time? Because again, it's beautiful. I saw it and it really touched me. I'm like, this is beautiful for you to take the time to do that. So kudos to you.
Well, we've been together 28 years already. So we've been together for a long time. So it gets to a point, I do get busy doing work. I'm building an office. I'm training agents. I'm doing all kinds of stuff. And it's you got to think about it. You got to stop. Just like you said, you got to put the phone away. You got to put all this stuff away, and what's priority. And what she's going to go get her nails. She loves me, seeing me when I pop by like that. So, let's put everything down. Let's go. You know what I mean? So you got to stop those distractions that are very important. Don't get me wrong. A buyer's appointment, listing appointment, things come up. But at the moment that I'm working on now, as my goal is to get better, obviously, is the now. Like, what do I need to do now? And that came up. So, and everything fell in place. So let's go do that. You know what I mean? And so those are just things that, it's work. It's work. Just like taking care of a client, we go up and beyond our abilities for our clients. And my spouse sees that, you know what I mean? It's like, what about me? You know what I mean? So, and not in that way, but more, what about her? Like, what do we do? You know what I mean? To take it to the next level and to be appreciated. And so I'm working, don't get me wrong. It's a working process.
I needed to comment to that because that was amazing. I'm like, we do need to make the time, like you said, and finding the balance. I think that's where all kind of strive for, we're trying to figure out that what is the line where we're still being able to be successful at the career, but also not forgetting that we have, a significant over there or your kids. I mean, you're a family man. That's amazing. So thank you for doing that. I'm sure you inspired a lot of guys out there who were thinking about it, haven't done
like,
it.
So I'll get a text like, what are you doing, man? You're going to make me work even harder. Like,
but that's good. That is all about leveling up. Let's move up everybody else and inspire someone to do, go to the extra mile or do that extra, be that person who goes out and beyond to make other person feel special. Going into, and I'm sure she appreciated it. So that's a girl. I know she probably was in heaven. So let me ask you, heaven, definitely heaven in there. So let me ask you, Cirilo, what are the things that you think, looking back, what would you tell Cirilo when he was, again, did you have a dream job? Did you dream of being a real estate agent when you were little? Or what was that like?
You know what? When I was 18, actually, I did want to do real estate. I don't know if it was my father because he had his house in a rental property, and then he would put mobile homes in there to create more income. And my dad was very creative in that aspect, but he never said do this. I just saw him collecting money. Doing it. I mean, and doing it. Like he'll go over there and collect money for $400 or $500. And I saw that, and then I guess I don't know what triggered me that I wanted to do real estate, and I was 18, and then I went to go for the class, and it was like $250. I was like, oh shoot, I don't have $250. So I stopped. That was off the books until I was like 26. 26 is when I decided to go take the classes. I went. So what you did prior
to real estate? What was your background?
So when I was 18, I went into selling photos in the Walmarts or in the stores, $5 sitting fee, and then they'll sell you $5. Well, I would sell that, you know what I mean? I used to sell that 20 or 30 of them, and we only have to give $1 and keep the rest. So I would do good, like $180 a day in cash. And so it was good. It was good. And then from there, I went to work with Verizon AirTouch before then. And I would sell cell phones. Cell phones were one of the things I used to do is sell cell phones. And then 5 years, I was their number one salesperson, the number one manager. And then I asked for a raise. I go, look, I saw all the numbers. I see all everything that, they're literally making like $1 million a month. And I go, hey, can I get a raise? And they said, no, you're the highest paid salesperson here in that AirTouch. It wasn't the AirTouch Direct. It was more of like a franchise company. So not direct like Verizon, but you still, I was making like $80,000 a year. And they asked for a raise. They said, no, you're capped out. I was like, okay. Wow. And so that's when I decided to look to go get my license. And I went to get my license. What's crazy about that is that I knew a lot of people that failed the real estate classes. Yeah, okay. No, the real estate classes. Okay. And I was like a D- student. Okay, so just be real. Okay, so
be real is all about.
Yes, and D- is because I cheated to get. That's not bad. Okay, so checking out the next thing. Yes, just so you know that I even cheated there to get to the D-. So anyways, there you go. And so I was like, oh my God, how am I going to pass this? I asked myself, how am I going to pass this? People with like literally college degrees and all this failed. And I was like, how am I going to pass it? And I said, I will memorize the book. I
Wow.
went to go to work on memorizing the book. So there was 12 chapters of the principal books, right? I don't know if you remember, but 12 chapters. I said, okay, I
Yeah.
will memorize every single chapter. I'll read it every single day, and I won't go to the next one until I get
Until I have
70%.
this down.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
And
awesome.
so for 6 months, I decided to do that. And obviously, when I got there, I was like, oh, this is easy. I because I memorized everything.
That's awesome. So again, that's exactly what I was going to tell you. So a lot of times it's all about putting ourselves in a position where you have to do it. I don't know about you, but there are times when you're like, I have to get it done, and you just find ways. You're memorizing the chapters, you're memorizing the book. Knew that if you do that, you will be able to get to that, passing that class and being able to go for that test. How do you deal with the test?
Oh, I passed it the first time. Yeah, in 30 minutes,
Beautiful.
I was in and out in 30 minutes, 40 minutes, I was out. Because I had, there's really nothing
You had
that
it all
could go
down.
wrong. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Because I did study and everything, it says, if you don't understand, just put C. You know what I mean? And so a couple of them I didn't understand. I just put C and I passed it.
I remember when I took my crash course and they said, if you have to guess, it's a C or a D. I'm like, okay, yeah. C or a D.
So you studied too. So that's how that's how I was able to make sure I get my license.
That's awesome. So tell me, what advice did you give? Let's say you mentioned you're working in with a lot of new agents or with agents building teams, right? Is that what you're into now? Tell me a little bit about that. And how do you help the new agents? Let's say they come in and, we all get excited, but again, new to the industry, new to the business. What is what are the 3 pieces of advice that you give those agents that if you do this, this, and this, you'll be off the right start?
Well, I made it simple. It's
S. Give me the SAS.
The SAS, and that's what it is. Okay, S is showing up. S is showing up. You got to show up to the office, get your mindset right, get everything. But first of all, you got to show up. Second, you got to create an accountability, a group or a mastermind that's going to push you to take it to the next level, because sales is not the pico and pala. Pico and pala, we can do that. That we're custom with that.
Right.
You know what I mean? From 6 o'clock to 6 in the morning, that hard work is not a problem. It's our psychology and our communication that we've been, hey, quédate calladitos, don't say this, don't say that, don't talk about. And so we've been programmed that. So we got to come out. And so how we come out is by being accountable to another group that's going to push us to come out from our uncomfortableness. Comfort zone, which is communicating. Unfortunately, it's communicating is the only thing that really holds us up, because if you know how to communicate, you're going to be very successful, because hard work is already in our blood. And so communication, unfortunately, is not. And so that's what we have to develop. So show up, have accountability. And strive for success. Strive for success. You got to strive for success. Goal, whatever the goal is, it doesn't matter. It could be just, pay your bills first. That's a goal. You know what I mean? Let's get you your savings account. That's a goal. Let's get you your buying your own home. That's a goal. Because a lot of the agents, unfortunately, you talk to them, they don't have those 3 fundamentals, and they want to go on investments. They want to go do all this kind of stuff.
Flips.
I understand that. But let's get you.
But get the basics. Get the basics out. Get the foundation started. Get you going on the right.
Get your household in order. And I'll be honest with you. I've done very good, but the household wasn't as in order as it should be. Okay, because when the storm does come, if it's not in order, that's the first thing that it's going to go. Right. So we got to develop a good foundation. So that's what I'm doing even more now, is making sure that the household is strong. And if it's that strong, everything else is going to be much easier. Because if that's all shaking up and you're going to try sell houses, that's in your back of your mind. And you're just going to
You're not going to be able to function. You're not going to be able to concentrate. You're not going to be able to deliver.
No, you're not be able to deliver.
So tell me, you have I love those 3 SAS. I will remember those, and I know it'll be easy to explain. So show up, have accountability, and strive for success. So those are amazing. I love them. So thank you for sharing
You know,
those.
you're welcome. And one of the things I realized that for me, I'm very simple guy. I'm not into all this, you know, a lot of crazy stuff, but very simple things for me to trigger. Oh, Sas, you know what I mean? Show up, yes, accountability, and strive for success. Very simple. And so I appreciate that.
Definitely. And keep it simple. It makes it easier for people to remember. With the
Yes.
loans, I always throw it out 221, and they're looking at me like, "What are you talking about? 2-year taxes, 2-month bank statement, 1 month of pay." That's it. 221,
Yes.
and they're like, "Oh, okay." So
Oh, there
I
you
love
go.
that.
See, I like that. That's very good. Yeah, keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Good.
People will remember, and then it's not too complicated, because the more we complicate it, then the harder it is for them to remember.
We're already in complication. Our mind just goes so many directions.
Directions at the same time.
So,
Y la casa, y los hijos, and everybody comes to your head, right? No,
yes.
I do see you walking and doing hiking, so I have to give you 5 to that. I love hiking. I only do it on Sundays, but I do see you doing it every day. So tell me about your morning routines, because it looks like you have it down. So please share with our audience what is that Sirilo does every day that makes him be at his top and be ready with the mindset and be ready with this body energy and all of that, because you transmit that. I can feel that through your, you know, whenever you're talking on camera, on those videos, or whenever you transmit that energy. So tell us, what is that? What is the morning routine, or what is that routine that you follow that has allowed you to stay on your best, at your best?
I'm going to be honest with you. It's chaos right now.
Really? Well, it doesn't show.
I know. And the reason I say that, because I'm coming out from being like doing this podcast. This is not regular Cirilo. Whoever does a podcast, this is Sas. You know what I mean? Sas. So I'm coming out of my own habits, and you are too, as you can see.
Yeah.
Like, getting nervous, you know what I mean? We're coming out of that. So guess what? That's a lot of chaos. Oh man, I didn't wake up this morning. Man, shoot, all this craziness is coming. Don't get me wrong. Right now, it seems to be like it's in order, but I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of chaos, because I'm coming out from the original Cirilo, the one that just, you know, stays quiet and don't do anything, to coming out. Okay. So it's obviously, I know my mind. Also, when I do my commitments, is because I'm accountable to it. You know what I mean? So one of the strong ones is like the 75 hard. It's 2 workouts every single day. Eating, drinking water.
You did that a challenge?
Yes, that challenge. And I've done it 4 times, maybe 5, and I only done it once. I only completed it once. Yes, I know. I'm going to be true. No.
And this is what we want. We want people to relate, because a lot of times we all say we're going to do this, or like I was saying, I see it and I'm like, man, this man has it down. It looks like he's on his,
and
his A game all the time.
I know, and it's perceived in my head I'm A game. Okay, so don't get me wrong. When it comes to I'm A game for sure, but because I'm coming out in aspects of where my comfortable is, I say it's chaos. I'm now like every single 8:30 in the morning, I'm role playing with my team. Okay, my partners, beautiful. I'm role playing, and before 8:30, that strict. I never had it that strict role playing. It would be here and there. Okay. I would role play and let's get on the phone, but it wouldn't be as consistent as it is now. Okay. Every single Monday, 11 o'clock, rain or shine or anything, I'm doing a training. Okay. With my team, I'm doing a training. And then Thursdays, I'm doing, my Spanish at 11 o'clock. Okay. So those are now like, I am now putting the schedule, the business schedule, the way it's supposed to be. And then my personal will go along that as well. Okay. Right. And I say personal there, obviously I already have my personal, but more like my morning routine, it starts kicking in. Okay. That means like if for 8:30, 8 o'clock, I have to take the kids to school. Not that I have to, I want to take them to school. I want to take them to school because I get to see where they're going, that we put on their music. We do our affirmations. So now I'm taking them. Nobody's going to take that away
Yes.
from me. So at 8 o'clock, I take them
That's me.
to school. So that means I got a half an hour to do a couple of calls. Remember at 8:15, you and I talked.
Yes.
I have a little window right now to talk to people, and then at 8:30 I'm on. So then that means by 6 o'clock I meet with George to do our mastermind for our business, right? Because George is we're building that office. So that means shoot, I got 5 o'clock is going to have to be my morning routine. See how it automatically starts falling in?
Beautiful.
Because
I love it.
Structuring it now.
You're pushing yourself to do it because now you have commitments that you must show up to, and you're keeping yourself accountable for your team. So there's no way that you're not going to show up for your team, which is bring something else that I wanted to point out. A lot of times, and it seems like it happens with a lot of successful people, we tend to do a lot of things when we make that commitment to others. So that accountability definitely, makes you do that extra.
It does.
Stuff. Because now you're not doing it for you, you're doing it for your team, and your team is counting on you. And that happens to me too. So I can 100% relate to that. That's amazing.
Yes. And also it's a bigger picture now. Before it was for the team. It was for myself, what I'm building, but now it's even bigger. And that creates the whole structure of schedule, your accountability. It doesn't force you. It just becomes in a line to what you want to be.
Right.
And how
and I always say things come up to place when everything lines up. Like yes. I'm a believer that things will come to you when it's the right time and you're ready for them. Like opportunities, business, relationships, everything will just fall into place as long as you're ready and aligned with the right people.
Right.
They'll start showing up for you.
Yes, absolutely.
Amazing. Now, let me ask you, you mentioned mastermind, and I'm actually part of a couple masterminds. And I never thought how important they were until recently. When you get to spend time with people like you, with other successful people, and you get to hear their struggles, the things that they have to do to get their business to that next level, whatever it is that they need to accomplish. It's so important. A lot of times in our Hispanic community, we don't have that. What do you think about that? What do you think we can do? What message do you want to send out to our audience and say, hey, whatever business you're in, I feel like it doesn't have to be real estate or loans or any of this, any business. If you were able to put, a few minds together, like Napoleon Hill said about the mastermind, you'll be able to learn so much from each other and help each other out to build a more successful business.
Okay.
Talk to me about mastermind. Talk to me about the mastermind. I am ready.
Okay. Unfortunately, I want to say this. Unfortunately, our community, our Latino community, are unfortunately programmed to do shortcuts, las mordidas. It's hard, you know what I mean? And that's
hard, but it is true.
It's in our culture. It's in our culture to try to figure out how to do it shortcuts, and they still have they're hardworking. Don't get me wrong, but they have this inside the subconscious mind. I'm talking now the subconscious mind that they see uncles do, and even though they don't do it, it's in their mind, and so they don't take that necessary extra step. What ¿Qué me va a decir? How he's going to pinpoint me? What is he going to do against me? Mejor no. That's the easiest way to do it. I believe that's what it is, and so we don't have an instilled of a community. We do have the instillment of a community. We have it as a family. You know what I mean? And as a family, we do see it. Luego, lo que quieras, vamos.
Lo que necesites.
Necesites. So that's the two different segments of they don't bring it in that it is a family orientation of a community to figure out how to improve your situation. Mm-hmm. And not only improve your situation, how to think differently. Because the only one who's going to improve your situation is you, but only if you think differently. And in order to think differently, either through reading books or being around people who are in that spirit of thinking different and figuring out, hey, look, this is what I'm doing. Let's see if that's going to work for you. Oh, you know what? Let me try it. Versus, we come into that dialogue outside. Unfortunately, negative, even though we won't speak it. I'm speaking it because that's what I think it's the reality. Yeah. Nobody speaks it because it's who talks like that, you know what I mean? But anyway, I am.
No,
problem.
and I love it because it is true. We all come in with that idea that no, I'm not going to share my ideas because they're going to steal them. Or what if I
Exactly.
say it and then they go do it? And who cares? Like
Yeah.
in my business, I always feel there's no competition. At the end of the day, you have your niche of clients. I have my niche of clients. Like, I mean, there is no competition. We should
There
have more
isn't. So
collaboration rather than no
collaboration.
competition. Yes.
Exactly. So what they need to do is read more books because we're not
Yes.
instilled. They need to be around podcasts that are talking about how to mastermind, so
Right.
they can trigger the difference thinking of, we're not in competition. We're in
We're not.
collaboration. We're how to
Absolutely.
figure it out. And once that clicks, then it will change dramatically. And it took me a long time to realize that,
Me
because
too.
after books and books and books and being around those people who know that fundamental, once that together comes, we become unstoppable.
Absolutely. And that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to bring people to the awareness that there is no competition, that you can be in the same industry and we can still collaborate, help each other out, share ideas that at the end, like you said, go try them. Maybe they work, maybe they don't, but you won't know until you try them.
Right.
And you said something about books. I recently did a quick video about books, but what are the 3 books that you would, again, recommend or had made a big impact in your life, in your business, that you would recommend someone to read?
Well, the magic of believing, obviously, the magic of believing is one of them. The ones that, the real impact ones is like,
tell us which ones are the ones that have made,
because I understand it now. Like Stealing Fire is a powerful book. It's a next level stuff of who we are as humans and what we've been blessed by God, with some powers that are dynamic, that we don't put ourselves in those states to be that kind of element for society, for people, So that's one of them for sure. But before that, even there's a couple of other ones that, for depending on what real estate related, like my mind will go different ways. Yeah.
So let's get one real estate. You got me, Magic of Believing. The Still Fire?
The Stealing Fire. And even the book with the $1 Million Agent with
Million-Dollar Agent.
Williams. Yeah, the $1 Million Williams. Good book. That gives you the fundamental right there.
Perfect.
Just grab whatever. Who cares what company you are in? Just start that fundamental things. Work on your database is critical. But they'll show you exactly the numbers game of building your business. So if you're an analytical, that'd be a good book.
That will be a big book. I haven't read those 2, so I'm definitely going to check them out. I always feel that there's always the book that will come and something will click and something you'll get out of it. And like, oh my God, that was the one thing I got out of the book. So I love reading books. I've always have, and I think that's important. So we have the books. One thing that I always feel like we need to talk about is our mission. Do you feel like you're aligned with your mission in life? You feel like you found that one thing that you feel 100% aligned with and you're working on it? How are you doing with your mission in life?
Okay, so I that's one of the things that the last years we've been everybody. You got to have a why. You got to have a why. Family, kids, whatever the why, right? And we have a why. For me, I'm happy. Very simple. I don't need financially all this crazy expensive cars and all that stuff. That just doesn't move me at all. You know what I mean? And so I was
nice to have them. It's nice to have them, right? It does help.
It's very nice to have them. There's nothing wrong with that. But for me, it's not
what motivates you.
It doesn't motivate me to go make another sale. That just doesn't do it.
Right.
And then so what I got in the line to has my gift. My gift is definitely helping others. It's always been that naturally very caring, I never had I don't hold resentment that, somebody could, okay, that's fine. No problem. Go ahead.
Que Dios lo bendiga.
Yes.
Que Dios lo bendiga. That's what I always said.
And so now more than ever is helping agents, because I remember being there, that moment of wanting to learn, and they are helping me, but obviously they were helping me because it was a financial benefit, which is understandable. Don't get me wrong. Coaching and all that is very important, but there is another level of helping, and that's where we got to understand, and that's where we have to help agents. It's the helping the psychology, the mindset, because everybody says that you need to learn your scripts. Everybody out there, you come and join me, learn your scripts, right? Which is very important, but it's secondary. It's not priority. It's secondary. What you must master is your mindset. Your belief that you're going to be able to do it, the desire to be hungry that you're going to win. And from there, once you have that, then everything else will come in place. Your scripts, your tonality, everything that you have to develop to become a successful agent, or anything that you decide to be, a lender or title or anything like that. You have to have that desire to win, the hunger, the mindset, you know what I mean? And like I said, a lot of our Hispanic, we can work till 6, no problem.
From desde que amanece hasta que anochece, and they don't go home until it's dark, right?
Exactly. That's a natural. And so, and why are we not successful as more people than out there, as Latinos? Why are we not successful? We're the hardest working community that I believe.
Absolutely.
Why are we not successful? Why don't we have?
Because of our mindset.
Exactly. And we don't
believe that we deserve. A lot of times we get brought up with those, and I'm speaking for myself. I had to believe that I have to work super hard, otherwise I didn't deserve to have the paycheck. I didn't deserve the nice things. So, believing is definitely a big one that we need to instill in our kids, and just tell them every day.
Exactly.
I love dropping off my daughter, and we have those, like you said, those 30 minutes are the most precious ones for me for my day. But definitely, it's important that we do that with our families. But and helping, and I think you're doing an amazing job. So thank you for being that role model. Thank you for being that selfless person who just want to help others to be successful and showing them the way, and putting your granito de arena for them to learn from and apply and go dedicate and go do those 3 SAS things that you're recommending. One last thing that I would like to ask you, Sirilo, how do you want to be remembered? So I know that we are going to be gone one day. So how do you want people to remember Sirilo?
I don't have that in my mind, to be honest with you. I don't have that in my mind. Not yet. I haven't got there. Or it's not something that is important to me. I'm not in aspects of not saying it's not important, just I haven't created what that is. And obviously you bringing some stuff up and asking me how you see me, I was like, oh, wow, I appreciate that. And so I haven't got to that point yet of how I want to, I definitely, I just appreciate and love, I guess appreciated and loved. And that's what mostly moves me, to be honest with you. And everything else will fall in place. But I haven't been asked that, to be honest with you. So
good. I came out with a question that nobody had asked you. So that's amazing.
How I feel, my tombstone say. No, I haven't thought about that. Obviously, my goal is to be the best as I can be, best father, best husband, and from everything else from there, if it's extra, you know what I mean. But for sure, those are the 2 principles that
beautiful. Be remembered as the person who gave without expecting anything in return, just gave out all they got. Very selfish.
One of the things for sure, I appreciate now that you're bringing that up, for sure that that I am the light from the light, meaning my God gave me the opportunity to do that. And obviously now that I'm coming out and speaking more and showing, and hopefully for those who want to learn, obviously see that I can help them and take that to the next level, whatever that is.
Awesome. So you talked about, and we'll close it up with this, you've talked about opening up a new office. What's next for Sirilo? What are you working on? What are the things, and how people can follow you and can listen to what you have to say? I know you're with EXP, is that right?
Yes, I am with EXP. The platform that I'm using to build what I want to build is EXP, which is a phenomenal company based on what it's structured. Obviously, if you're not growing, I don't care what company you're with. If you're not working on the 80%, you can go to the next company, move because of whatever it is. If your 80% is not right, you're going to fail anyway. So it's really being in line with those who help you see that, hey, you're good, but let's fix this even more. You're going to become even great. Okay. So that's what I decided to use EXP as the platform. It's a good platform for most agents. I saw it gave me the boost. Like, okay, I started focusing on becoming capping, then becoming an icon, which is most agents should be doing. And so that's what I want to teach what's what I want to teach agents is how to become, 25, 30 transactions.
Level up. They need to level up to the next level. So go out to the next level. And where can they find you? You have Instagram, Facebook. What do we have? Where can they find you?
Just put Sirilo Ortiz. Google me, Sirilo Ortiz, Sirilo Ortiz. And I'm the only one that you're going to see that pops up. Look for me either Facebook, Google or Instagram, but Sirilo Ortiz is the only one you're going to find there. So anywhere you decide to go from there.
And you'll find right after Sirilo Ortiz, SAS. It'll be right there. It will be right there for sure. Yeah. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. This was an amazing, time with you, learning from you and just getting to know you. It's beautiful. I knew about you, but now I know more. And I know audience will be happy to connect with you and to, again, learn from you eventually and apply some of the principles you shared with us today. So again, thank you.
Hopefully it helps. Yes. Thank you very much.
And we'll see you soon.
Thank you for listening to the Level Up Podcast. You can subscribe to the show on iTunes, Spotify, or anywhere else podcasts are found, so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, you can leave a 5-star review on iTunes. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. Until next time, we hope you level up.